All right, so now that we got our case halves back together, we are going to work on the clutch side of the motor, get all the shifting mechanism back put in and secured properly, and then move to the ignition side. Stay tuned. So first I'm going to start with putting this crank seal retainer back on. It goes right here. Just kind of holds it. Got to put some red thread locker on there. All right, so this is a 10 millimeter, and we need to torque it down to 10 newton meters or 7.3 pounds. 7.2 foot-pounds. Next, we're going to put the circlet back on this transmission shaft, sticking out right there. Circlet, trusty circlet pliers. Gotta get it configured right. Never use these enough to remember which set they go on. There we go. There we go. Next, we're going to install the shifting mechanism, shifting detent. What you're gonna do is line up this little slot with that pin right there, and then you turn it all the way clockwise until it stops. Like that. You'll feel it stop. Then you get some red thread locker. Oops, wrong side. Almost the wrong side. It goes right in there. Alright, make sure that the slot's locked into that pin. 22 pounds we gotta torque it to, and it's a 12 millimeter. You're gonna need a deep well socket. It's not gonna ratchet because it's turning. Shifting mechanism, so you have to take it off. Alright, so my fault, y'all. I had to take that shift start detent back off. So we gotta put this on first. I don't even know what this is, but it goes right here. That's a 10 millimeter. I don't remember this one being super hard getting off, so I'm not putting Loctite on it, thread locker, whatever you want to call it. Don't know what to torque it to either, so I'm just gonna put the ratchet on it and get it nice and tight. Don't want to go too crazy with the cheese whiz and strip something out. Alright, so I looked it up. This is another 10 newton meter bolt for 7.2 foot-pounds. There it is. Alright, so I've actually gone back and loosened this back up so that I can get this in here. Alright, so I had to loosen it up a little bit more, and it's being held by that socket right there. Put some more thread locker on it. I've already taken it in and out without much trouble. This is a learning experience for me, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. All I have is a manual and my prior skills and knowledge. I could tell it wasn't locked into the dowel pin on the shift drum. Alright, now that we got that, I gotta figure out how in the world this is supposed to go. Because there ain't enough room.
Where does this go?
Alright, so I screwed up like 5 times. Just trying to wing it. I should have just read the instructions. The instructions are just kind of boring to me. I like to figure it out. It's a guessing game. Alright, so this little spring lever arm needs to go on before the shift drum star detent. I believe that's the correct name for this guy. Gotta make sure and get this lined up properly. Alright, that's 7.2 foot-pounds. I can feel it. That's good enough. Now we gotta push this all the way down. That's what I was doing wrong. That's gonna be tough. Last time I'm doing this, I swear to you. A little bit more Loctite. Hope we won't run out from having to do this 27 times. Alright, this is gonna be a pain. My thumb's too fat. BRB. Alright. Man, that thing is pretty stout, y'all. getting the slot lined up. Man, this is a pain in the butt, y'all. Shee-wee. Alright, got this son of a bitch on here. 22 foot-pounds, tied this son of a bitch up for like the 14th time. Yee-yee. Alright. There it is. Alright. Alright, so for the reassembly of the shift guide, these little pieces kind of spring out like that, and the way you assemble it is you take the spring and the little cap, put the cap on the spring, and there's a hole down in there. Drop the spring down in there, it'll stop, and you slide in this little guy, and you can tell the round edges go in the round slots, and then you'll have to squeeze it together like that to install it into this bracket piece. And this, you'll see this gap right here, that's what you're sliding. Now you gotta go in this way. And don't forget, this little guy can fall off the back. Just exploded on me. I'm gonna try to show y'all how to put this together. Alright. This man. Alright, so we got that together. And you can see right there, you kind of got to slide these out a little bit to make this gap. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh, it's so slippery, y'all. It's so oily. Lost that. Oh, I can't hold on to anything. All right, so this is gonna face me. It goes like that on the motor. So that means this part. Gotta slide these down a little bit. Alright, we got that taken care of right there. I gotta keep it from falling out while simultaneously sliding this one over. Oh, my finger's in the way. Alright. Alright. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna drop everything. Alright. That's the way it's supposed to be installed onto the motor right there, I believe. Fucking piss! Alright, so sorry that I could not film getting it in there. It was just a little too difficult to film it and do it and hold everything together. It's all oily and slippery, but I got it in there. Now it's time to put some Loctite on these bolts and get it secured before it pops out. And this is 10 Newton meters or 7.2 foot-pounds. There we go. There we go. Don't forget to put this little collar back on. Now it's time to install the shift shaft. It just slides right through there. Gotta move it over to align it so it lines up in there. Good to go. Alright, so now if you'll remember, I had to cut the old Kickstarter off, and that's why this shaft is all jacked up on the end there, if it'll focus. But we need to take all this stuff off of that and put it on the new shaft here. So there, we got this right there out of the hole. There's a hole in the shaft, you can kind of see it down there. I should be able to slide this guy off. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to try and lay it out in the order that it came apart in. Spring here, and flop everything down the same direction. So, flopping it down, and flopping it down. And now we got our old shaft out. There we go. This little spring piece lined back up with the ledge of that kicker shaft. Alright, so now we see this hole right there. Gotta line the spring back up, but also have this ready to go as well. Alright, so I got it in the hole. Now we need to install our kick axle assembly. It says to use transmission oil, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use a little bit of assembly glue. Just a little bit. Alright, so this needs to go in that hole right there. This little arm goes in that slot, while this has to go in that hole. Well, it only took about a year and a half, but I finally uploaded all the content I filmed for the Crustiest bike on Craigslist. Would have been a lot easier without losing a memory card and breaking an external hard drive, but we got it done. I'm planning on putting out much more consistent content in 2022, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed my video or found it helpful, make sure to tickle that algorithm for me. It's free, and worst case scenario, you get to see more cool videos. Thanks for watching, and brap on.